In this video, I'm gonna show you the new technique, forged carbon fiber on your stainless steel tumbler. This has never been done before, and I'm giving you an inside peek on how to do it. So this is the new forged carbon fiber method on a stainless steel tumbler. It is a new method that has never been done before, and Artistry Epoxy has come out with the products to get you what you need done. First off, here's the list of everything you're gonna need. You're gonna need your forged carbon fiber. We have 8 different colors of the accent fibers. Go ahead and check those out. We have our epoxy, mattify to prep your cup. We have black paint to prime our cup, gloves, parchment paper, and this is the sublimation shrink wraps. If you don't have these, you could also just use tape to tape it together. All right, so first thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna prep our tumbler, and we are going to use mattify to do that. We're going to spray a little water on our cup first. Put a little mattify on it and scrub. So this will sand and clean the tumbler all at one time. So let's go ahead and get that done before we paint our cup. So it doesn't take much to clean the cup with mattify. You just kind of scrub it and then go ahead and wipe it off. This is our prep tumbler. Now we're gonna take it over to the paint station and paint it black. So now we're going to prime using black spray paint. This is our primed black cup. Let's go ahead and let that dry. So now that we have our cup primed, now we're going to mix up our epoxy. And for this, I'm gonna use our fast set epoxy. I'm gonna mix up about 30 ml. You want a nice thick layer on there. Mix up your fast set for about 2 minutes. Now that we mixed our epoxy, we are going to put our coat on to the cup now. And we're just gonna do a nice thick layer. This is fast set, so you kind of do want to work pretty quickly. Now that we have our first layer of epoxy over our primed cup, we are going to want to torch this and get all the air bubbles out. All right, now that we have our epoxy on, we are going to take our forged carbon fiber, throw it on there. You could probably do about 4 to 5 cups per bag of carbon fiber. Make sure you get your bottom really good, and then go through and kind of just tap out, kind of get any blank spots that you may see. And then when you're happy with how your fibers are kind of laid out, the next step is when you can add all of your different accent colors. If you want, you can also add in some gold flake. You can add in even like these irregular shaped glitters would be really cool to kind of add in. In this one, we're gonna do gold. All you're gonna do is kind of take those fibers and just kind of single strand it in there randomly, place next to those other fibers. And because it's kind of wet, it'll kind of just grab. And then the next step is very important. All right, so we've gone ahead and placed our accent fibers kind of throughout the cup there. All right, so we have 8 of our accent fibers: teal, green, purple, red, gold, silver, blue, and a iridescent. You could also add gold foil, so you have some gold foils there, or even some of these irregular shaped glitters. So check all that available on the website as well. All right, so next we're gonna take parchment paper, cut you a piece. Take your tumbler, place on the parchment paper, and we are actually going to wrap this. You want to press really hard and kind of move that epoxy as well. And that's why we did a nice thick layer of epoxy. So you want it super tight, like you're rolling a sushi on your top. Go ahead and roll that down. And then also on your side here, tuck that in on your corners. If you want, you could tape this, but what I've found to work best are the sublimation heat shrinks. Go ahead and place that over. Let's run our heat gun, and we're gonna shrink that. This basically will hold in that carbon and the epoxy really good. This is it all nice and wrapped up. All right, so it's been about 45 minutes with fast set. Let's go ahead and take off our wrap. I'm gonna give this a little more time. Not quite set yet. All right, so with fast set, I peeled it off at about 1 hour. And it's still tacky a little bit, and I could see like some of my edges and stuff. So what's really cool about doing it while it's tacky, and a great idea to do while it's tacky, is you can kind of push back some of these fibers that are on the corners. Also, go ahead and take your torch while it's still kind of tacky and torch it one last time before your next coat. That'll kind of set down everything nice before your next layer. Also, with it still being soft, I like that I can come in here and clean up my edges. No sanding. If you kind of wait too long, you're gonna deal with sanding and probably gonna see more air bubbles and stuff. So I highly suggest to do the fast set and pull it off within about that hour mark so that you can just go ahead and clean up your edges and do everything while it's still semi-tacky. This has zero sanding done to it at all. And if you have to wait and sand, you can. It just won't allow your next set of epoxy to be as good. We're also gonna mix up our fast set. So now that we have our second layer of fast set mixed up, let's go ahead and apply that to the cup. So this is the second layer. You'll probably need 3 layers. If you're also adding a decal, you're gonna probably need a 4th layer. So let's go ahead and torch now. All right, so that is with the second coat of epoxy on. Now let that cure. You'll go ahead and do a 3rd coat of epoxy. You can lightly sand because you're gonna have some bumps and stuff. So lightly sand after your 2nd coat before you do your 3rd coat. And then after your 3rd coat, you can put a decal on it if you wanted, or just leave it like this. And then you're gonna get your finished carbon fiber tumbler. That's how you achieve this look.